Hi and welcome to the video tutorial for basic piloting in the Star Wars Combine, and in this tutorial we will find out how to fly ships around from point A to point B in space. Now obviously the first thing you want to be able to do is enter into your cockpit, so move to your right hand menu and select Enter Cockpit. This will open up your cockpit view, and here you can see various things. And just to explain what you can actually see here, over here on the top left hand side you'll actually be able to see your current location in the galaxy. Also in the middle here, the faction that actually controls the system you're in, and then the last square on your right hand side there will actually give you your details of your ship. Now, underneath that will open up a diagram of the system you're in with all various figures and different symbols and whatnot. Now I'm not going to cover what every single one is, apart from this one, which is your location, indicated by the yellow flashing cross there. If you want to know what any of the other items are, just simply go to the rules section and then go down a little bit till you see the scanning part. Click on that, and what will actually open up is a screen. And if you scroll down towards the bottom, you'll actually find this part here, Identify Friend Foe. And that'll explain to you what all the different colours mean and what all the different symbols mean that you'll find while flying around. So I'm not going to cover that in detail, you can read through that at your own leisure. Okay, first thing you want to do is travel in sublight. Now to do that, you come down the bottom to your travel menu, and click on that. Underneath that will open up three options: Galaxy Map, Hyper and Sublight. First thing we're going to do is demonstrate sublight travel. So click on Sublight and opens up a new map. Now what you'll see here is a little bit different. You'll see all red squares everywhere. What that actually represents is gravity wells, and that's something that I'll actually explain as far as hyperspace travel goes, but for sublight it means absolutely nothing. Now once again, that's your location there with the yellow cross. Let's just say I want to travel from this point, point A, to one square to my right, which is point B. I would simply click on point B, and what you'll see happen over on the left hand side, the coordinates are already simply input for me. Also then you can select your speed you want to travel at. Gives you an ETA there of how long it will take you to go from point A to point B, and that's 8 minutes. That's acceptable. Click go, and away you go. Up the top here it shows you a countdown of your time of arrival, and then also the destination to where you're travelling to, so in this case 13:0. And you can see there a red line with a red cross indicating the path travelled, and also to your target destination. Now let's just say we want to go into hyperspace. Again, you click on travel, but this time you got to click hyper. Now let's just type in, or I want to demonstrate something here, so let's just type in any old location that comes to mind. Click go. I get an error that says unable to engage the hyperdrive motivator due to gravity well. And if you remember before I explained what the gravity wells were, this is how it affects you. You cannot enter hyperspace when inside a gravity well. You actually have to exit that. So obviously, to exit a gravity well, obviously you need to fly in sublight, funnily enough. And that is something that we already have been taught how to do. So I'll just demonstrate that again. And away I go. Now in 7 minutes time, when I arrive, I'll demonstrate hyperspace and show you what that looks like. But remember, while you're traveling in sublight, that's a sun. You do not want to enter into a sun at any circumstance. Otherwise, you'll end up very, very crispy. In other words, you'll end up dead. Your ship destroyed and everything on it gone. So that's not a good thing. There's also a few black holes around, and they have the same effect. So obviously, never plot a course directly for a sun, otherwise you'll quite regret it. Well, that's that for sublight, and in 7 minutes time I will explain to you how to fly in hyperspace. Okay, we've arrived at our location just outside the gravity well, And now we want to go to a new system. Follow the same principles as before, click on travel, but this time click hyper instead of sublight. That'll open up the galaxy map. Now there's a couple of ways that you can jump into hyperspace. The first way is the long way. If you don't know the exact coordinates of where you want to go to, but you know the name of the sector in the system, you can use the drop down select sector menu to select the name of the sector that you want to travel to. So you click here. Let's just say, for an example, we want to travel to Bormia. You click that, zooms into that sector, and shows you all the known systems within that sector that you've selected. In this case, there is 3 in Bormia that are known. Now, let's just say, for an example, I want to travel to the Chandrila system within Bormia. I would select that system on the map, it refreshes, and you can see over the left hand side here the destination numbers have already been put in for me, as has the name of the system. Now the quicker way to do this is if you already know the destination. So if you already knew 5166, you could just manually input those numbers there, and obviously all you do is you just, as you would normally, type it in, and that's the same result. Underneath it shows you your hyperspeed. Obviously, again, the higher the number, the quicker you will go. Under that is an estimated travel time. So it's going to take me 16 hours, or just over, to actually arrive at my destination. So that's the date and time that I'll arrive. If that is all acceptable to yourself, click go, and away we go. And here you'll see the cockpit view and the hyperspace window, and you're in hyperspace. Now, there is also a slight danger when it comes to hyperspace, and that is if you abort hyperspace travel, there is a slight chance you might drop out of hyper straight into a sun or a black hole. And as we discussed earlier, that's really something you want to avoid. So you've got to think really hard whether you actually want to abort and if it's worthwhile while in hyper. Various factions have different rules concerning aborting hyperspace in ships that they own, so it's best to check with them before you do anything, but also yourself, have a good thought just in case you do have one of those rare chances of dropping into a sun.